Like, I go all day. I am like walking like a cowboy at this point. He never shows up. So I'm like, okay. So the day ends. I'm bringing Wendy back to the hotel. So she shows up, and I was like, I got a bone to pick with your husband. I mean, it was embarrassing enough that I had to text him about Vaseline. Hey, guys, this is Scott and Wendy with Raising an Archer.
Here we go again.
And we have an exciting show today, and it is on the 2023 USA Archery JOAD Nationals.
Yes, but even before that, what's even more exciting, I wouldn't say it's more exciting, but it is exciting on our end, is how we're about to start bringing other features.
Yeah, so we want to bring more content. We want to be able to help you, parents and archers, as you guys go to these events, when you're at the events, what to expect and things like that. But the thing is it does cost a little bit of money for us to do
but
this.
Very little.
Yeah, very little. So we've actually created a new account with Patreon, and it's going to tie in with our podcast, but we're going to give more information of what's coming, more data, more podcasts, more video type stuff. It will be on the back end, so you would have to go to Patreon, be a member, and then you would be able to see all of this. Example, at JOAD Nationals, Wendy and I will be giving a daily podcast on, or video cast, whatever we decide we want to do, because
whatever I look like that day.
whatever Wendy wants to do, that's what we will do. The information will be on the Patreon account, and that will give you day up to date information of exactly what's happening, what happened that day, and what to expect as a parent coming into day 2.
And when we say it's a small fee, we're talking about $5 a month.
Yes.
I know that I spend more than that a week on my
coffee.
Yeah.
We know.
That one little place with the green and white emblem. That's where I go.
Maybe it starts with an S.
So $5 a month, and it gives you extra benefits, extra information, and
let you know that we are going to be starting something to give more information, and that's going to be Wendy and I taking more time to get that information to you, because
man, that means I have to meet with you.
Yes, you will. The more we look into this, the more we realize that there is just not enough information out there on these events, and we want to get that information out to you.
That's right.
Well, we have some exciting guests on the show.
Yes, we do.
Why don't you introduce them? Because I can never say anybody's name correctly the first time.
That's right. So we have Lynette, who reached out to us, and that was so exciting. And it was in a very chaotic time in my life. So I see that
When is it not a chaotic
my response
spot in your life?
email is still in draft, but she contacted us, and she is in Des Moines, or you're in Iowa. Are you in Des Moines?
I'm in Northeast Iowa. Yep.
Northeast Iowa. All right. And then she got us in contact with Katie, who is with Catch Des Moines.
Catch Des Moines. We're Convention and Visitors Bureau.
Convention and Visitors Bureau. So we are going to be visiting there. We are going to be there about a week, and she has lots of great information. I know that I've talked about Des Moines before because we've been there for Junior Olympics. So Des Moines is not a stranger to hosting large events, and this is no different. Some of the fun facts about Des Moines, if you have not been there, that is the insurance headquarters. I mean, that's I didn't know that.
Is the insurance headquarters of the world?
Katie, is
that
the world or the nation?
I am full of fun random facts. Yes. So depending on the year, we're either second or third in the world.
In the world. That's amazing.
Yeah.
She's full of fun facts.
What I love is
Wait a minute. Let her give some fun facts.
Okay.
No. You keep rolling.
Okay, Wendy, roll with one more, and then we'll have her jump in.
All right. Well, there were lots of cool ones, but quarter of the U.S. population can drive to Des Moines in one day. So, we have a problem with that in the state of Texas, going from one side to the other. But a quarter of the U.S. population can get to there in one day.
That's pretty awesome.
Yep. One more I'm going to mention, because being a family, and, we just talked about traveling there, driving and flying. It is the number 2 safest places to live in the United States. So for all the families who will be traveling to be there, I know that when we came for Junior Olympics.
So you're saying we don't have to lock our doors while we're there? Is that what you're saying?
You can leave your windows unrolled or no.
Just leave your purse in the passenger seat?
Let's
is that what
just
my
say
wallet up on the dashboard? Is that what I can do?
I was not afraid of walking in parking garages or anything like that. But
they're not going to steal your catalytic converter like they will here.
I don't know about all that. I just know that I felt safe and that it is listed as number 2 of the safest places to live in the U.S.
And one of the top 10 best cities in the U.S. to live, right?
Right? I know. And then also one of the top 10 best cities for young professionals.
So one of the most important questions for Wendy right now is there a Starbucks?
A million of them.
A million of them.
They're everywhere.
I am good. I will be a happy person while I'm there. Next up, iced tea.
Yeah. Yeah.
How is y'all's iced tea? Because I don't remember when I was there. Is it good and fresh? You're going to have to tell me all
It's
the
good.
best
and
places.
It's unsweetened though.
Oh, well, I can
Too
bring.
sweet down south.
Okay,
right?
well, hold on. I can do unsweet because I can bring. Sweet and low.
What can you bring?
That.
You
Sweet
can get
and
it sweetened, but it's not the norm.
Yeah.
I'll
What's
tell
in
you.
the sweet and low?
Aspartame. Go ahead. All right. I remember there being plastic straws. Do you have plastic straws?
We definitely have plastic straws.
Yes.
You're safe.
Florida has the paper straws, and by the
We
time
don't have enough oceans to generate the paper straw
Thank
concern.
you.
So
I got to tell you how
See, I
angry,
will live.
plastic bags.
how
Yep.
angry she was when they gave her a paper straw in Florida.
that was terrible.
All right, so JOAD Nationals is
Yes.
in Des Moines, Iowa. This is the first time
Yep.
in how many? You guys had it before, right?
Yeah, 2010 was the last time. So a ton has changed with not only the Nationals, but Des Moines too. So we're so excited to have it back.
Yeah, we want to talk a little about Des Moines because I think that it from what we've seen, we did some little research. It's a really cool town.
Hey, I have one question. On one of the videos I watched, it had this really cool bridge that was lit up and it almost looked like squares that were turned all different directions. There were people riding bicycles across it, but it didn't have a name and it never mentioned the name. What is that?
It's called the High Trestle Bridge.
High
on the
Trestle Bridge.
Trail. Yep.
All right.
Mhm.
So anyone who is listening, you need to put that on your list to go see. That was so cool. I would go at nighttime because being lit up like that, is it always lit up like that?
It is.
Yes.
She's shaking her head yes,
Yeah, I know.
like we can hear her.
We can see you, but the other people can't see you. So put that on your list. High Trestle Bridge. And look it up if you want to look it up first. But that would be a cool place to go at nighttime with your family.
And right now, when you hear this podcast, it's time to get out there and get your hotel as well.
Yes.
There is going to be, I think there'll be easily over 800 archers going to the location. And it may be even bigger because of the location it's at.
Yes.
All the way down in, last year it was in Alabama.
Decatur, yep.
And they had I think about 850 archers, but it's kind of hard to get to. Just because you got to come all the way down to the coast. But now it's kind of opening it up, getting it up toward the north. So I would get my hotels now and get those
Better
booked.
get registered now.
Is registration open?
Yes.
I
I
haven't
just
even
already
looked.
registered Julia.
Did you? Wow, I'm way behind.
Yes. Who's
So
waiting
if
now?
you are listening to this, you better get registered for USA Archery for this JOAD.
That's right.
The JOAD Nationals.
Mhm. All right.
The good thing about motels, I would say, is we are a little big city, right? So don't freak out if you can't get the one closest to the grounds. You can get there. You can get from one side of Des Moines to the other in 25 minutes, right, Katie? It's from one end to the other. So you absolutely don't get worried if you feel like, oh, I can't get the ones right downtown Des Moines, or I can't get the ones right by the airport. You will not have a problem. It's yes, we have busy traffic in the morning, but it is not what you would expect in a big Chicago, big Minneapolis, big Houston. It's not that big of a city.
And when you mentioned the airport, I just went out there and looked, and flights are really good right now.
Yeah.
Our flights, I just looked, I think it was $208 was the cost of a round trip ticket
When I tell you 260.
Yeah,
for
260
us.
for you.
Yep.
She flies up because she lives so far away from me.
too.
I actually go to a different airport that she
Yes.
does because Houston is that big.
Yep. And then talking about airports is that Des Moines has all major airlines and it's an international airport. So I know we talk about Des Moines being small, but yet it's still got all the things that you're going to need. And the airport is less than 10 minutes from the host hotels and the competition field. So when you're talking about accessibility that, 20 minutes from one side to the other, it's not going to be a problem to get to. Something that I saw that was really cool on one of the videos was that the competition field is just south of downtown Des Moines, but we talked about it before. It had this really large, big metal sign over the road, and it said, and am I pronouncing this right? County Sports Park?
Yep.
Okay. And then even before you see that big sign, whenever you turn in to that wooded road, there are coming from either way. There are metal signs that go across the road that have big arrows pointing. So it looks like it's really easy to spot and to see how to get in there. So I was excited about that. I was like, okay, we're at a new place. And then we talked before that has one large parking lot. I know that whenever we were in Decatur the last 2 years, and multiple parking lots. So we were telling people which parking lot they needed to get to the different fields. But from what I understand, this one is one large parking lot, and then it's one entrance to get to all the different fields. So that ought to be pretty easy.
So it's going to be July 11th. It looks like they'll have the first open practice. And then this thing will end on July 16th, which will be a Sunday.
Mm-hmm. And that ends with the team rounds.
Yep, ends with the team rounds are fun too.
Yeah, they are.
The optional team rounds.
Yes, optional.
So that you don't have to do it.
I did sign Julia up.
It's just a
team rounds.
fun shoot to do.
Yep.
Katie, so what does the floor plan? What is the
That's the layout of the field.
Thank you. What's the layout of the field? Do you know?
Yeah. I've seen some preliminary drawings, and we're working right now and where we're going to put, the sponsored trailers and some of the food trailers and things like that. So we're just getting those pieces kind of in line. But like you had mentioned, obviously I'm very biased and think Des Moines is awesome and the complex itself. And Lynette, as you prefaced, she's an Iowa gal and has been to the field in the past. And Lynette had also said about that ease, the parking situation. Everything is so close together, so you'll be able to watch everything going on at once, which is amazing. And then you got the food kind of right in the middle, and the restrooms. It's just not only is our city accessible, but truly the county soccer complex where the competition is going to be taking place is so accessible. It'll be great. I'm so excited for you guys to take a look.
Cool. And then
Katie, do you know like which field is on? So when you drive into the complex, there is definitely only one way in and one way out.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't miss it. But when you come in, do you know which fields are going to be like the farthest in or the closest in? Do you know the distances yet?
So I've seen a preliminary map. I don't want to be recorded and saying exactly which field is what place.
Gonna hold you to it.
I don't want them to come back and say they said this. So yeah, at this point I haven't seen that final, which field is going to be for which part. So
it just sounds like it'll be easily accessible
from
where the parking is.
Yeah. And there's going to be some great signage on sites, and we're going to have our catch crew there and a lot of volunteers there to help point people in the right direction when they arrive.
Nice.
Great. Yeah.
So it'd be really easy for you when you're chafing that you can still get back to the restroom.
Right. And so she brings that up. Well, let's ask this. So are we going to hit 115? Heat index of 115. That's the real question.
Average temperature in Iowa in July is like 85.
Sweet.
So I think you're good.
Right.
It could be hot. Definitely. It could be hot. It is. It could be sticky. Probably not Alabama, Florida sticky, but it is humid. It could be warm.
Yeah,
it could rain.
It could
but-
rain. Yeah. See?
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
we're all right with that.
So since Wendy brought up the chafing, so I got to tell the story real quick. And so it hits 115. They shut it down. So
Heat
you're
index
hot.
of 115.
Heat index, whatever.
It's not
It is hot.
true.
Whatever it is
115.
hot. And it's humid because it had rained the night before.
Yes, very humid.
And so then they stick us in a room that's cold, kind of.
We're on the cold concrete floor.
Cold concrete floor.
Thank goodness so.
And so then they call us back out. As I'm walking out, I realize that there's some serious chafing going on right now. Text my wife, and she's like, I'm nowhere close. I'm like, "Oh." So I have to like suck it up, and I text her husband, hey, do you have any Vaseline? Because I'm chafing. And
Yes,
he
'cause
says,
my
he
husband-
sends back, no. I know, it was embarrassing. So so he texts back, no, do you mean to get some? I'm like, yes, I need some. He never shows up. Like, I go all day. I am like walking like a cowboy at this point. He never shows up. So I'm like, okay. So the day ends. I'm bringing Wendy back to the hotel. So she shows up. And I was like, I got a bone to pick with your husband. I mean, it was embarrassing enough that I had to text him about Vaseline, but he didn't even bring it to me. And she's like, oh, that's weird. And she opens her bag, pulls out this industrial size of Vaseline. She's like, this just showed up on my
Costco size.
Yeah, just showed up on my bag. And I was like,
My
oh my
judge's
God.
umbrella. It's
Yeah.
like, what?
Yeah. So I just grab it and immediately go into the bathroom. And
Lightning's hitting
really
everywhere.
I wasn't really paying attention. It was storming pretty bad.
Leaves me out there, which of course I couldn't go in the men's restroom, you know.
And I take care of, business and all. So that's what we want to avoid from happening this
chafing.
year.
I've got some great news for you because of our location and how great and easy it is. We are less than probably 5 minutes to the nearest Walgreens or CVS.
Perfect.
So, Scott, you will be
Perfect.
just fine no matter
Yeah.
what happens, even if someone
Yeah.
leaves you hanging.
Well, something popped up. I told somebody the story the other day, and it popped up on my. I got to look this up because it was hilarious.
Facebook sent
Here we
you.
go. Yeah. It popped up and it said,
Oh my.
it was an ad for Thigh Saver. I'm like, really?
I can't cry.
Like, how in the world does that show up on my Facebook as my? All right,
Goodness.
sorry, we got a little
All right.
sidetracked
Yeah,
there.
We did.
So it sounds like it'll be beautiful weather. There's
Yes.
a CVS or a Walgreens within
excited.
5 minutes. So if there's a problem, a crisis, we can divert that very easily.
Oh my word. All right. Well, something that you and I have not been a part of, we have not had our kids go to, which probably one of the reasons is because we still judge the official practice. And so we never make it to the kickoff. But the kickoff is going to be unique, is what I was told.
Yeah, the last 2 years, what has been I can't even say it. You know what I'm talking about.
I don't know what you're talking
It's
about.
those icy things that they were giving out.
They were like not lollipops. Good grief, Scott. You got like frozen yogurt pops.
Yeah. So
Okay.
so what is Des Moines going to do? You got to top that.
Oh, they
A
are.
yogurt pop.
Done and done. Yes. Well, I got to give a shout out to Lynette and the whole Iowa team. So it is going to be kind of a state effort in welcoming everyone into town. And there's going to be some fun things happening, but just a few off the top is there's going to be a really fun DJ. His name is DJ McFly. So already you know it's going to be
McFly.
good.
Oh yeah.
Yes. But
You
yeah,
think they'll let us
I bet
get up
he
there and do a little
beats you.
DJing ourselves?
No.
There's going to be mascots, local mascots walking around. There's going to be a gal, she owns a business called Dough Crazy. There's cookie dough.
That's what I'm
cookie dough
excited
dough,
about.
which will be
That may
amazing.
just draw me to it.
Prizes.
You may
It's gonna be
show up to
fun.
that. That
So
sounds
yeah,
awesome.
hopefully it's going to be a great mingler for everybody. Since I know that's always probably kind of awkward, right? Everyone first arrives, you know some of your people, but there's probably a lot of people you haven't met yet. So let's make
Right.
it fun. We want to have a good experience.
Oh, it sounds like it's going to be a great experience.
And that is going to, how far away is that from the competition fields? Because it
Oh,
says
Mhm.
Isaac Walton League on
Yeah,
George Flagg
Isaac
Parkway.
Walton League. Yeah, it's within minutes. Very
Okay.
close. Yes,
All right.
very close. Be great.
Awesome. Something else that I already love about this area, because, Lancaster will probably be there because they've been at almost all of them.
Lancaster.
However,
Lancaster.
I am not from up north. It is Lancaster all day, every day for me. But there are archery shops in the area. So if anybody gets there and they've got equipment repairs, that's called Archery Field Sports. It's just minutes from the casino and the
Where we'll find Wendy,
competition.
apparently.
In the competition field. They're full service. You can find them online already at archeryfield.com. They are Target Archery Knowledgeable. They also do recreational and hunting archery, but they do know target archery. And that's always a big thing for whenever you're flying in or you're traveling, regardless. I'm like getting super comfy on this couch.
I can tell. There you go. I'll change the camera so you guys can see how comfortable she is.
All right. There's also Bass Pro, also close to the casino. Sportsman's Warehouse, Dick's Sporting Goods. All of these are within driving distance from the competition field. So maybe you're not needing archery repairs, but maybe you're needing some chairs to sit in, a tent, the cooling rags or something. There's all of these places around there. So other fun things to do, something that my daughter and I did when we were there years ago. So they have these really cool things that you can drive around in the countryside, and you can even find them on a map, red covered bridges. I mean, and I took so many pictures. I made my daughter get out and take pictures at every single one of them. They even have one in the park, I think near Winterset, which Winterset? Oh my gosh. So go ahead. You're going to make fun of me because I'm country. So I see the face already. So my childhood hero even in college, I did a speech on him. So John Wayne.
Yep. I saw that coming.
Born in Winterset. Yes, it's the birthplace there. You can go through his house. It's awesome. That's a cool thing to do too. All right, walking, biking, rollerblade trail right across the street from the competition fields, correct?
Yep, absolutely. Great walking trail, biking trail right across.
All right, and then there are going to be families who love this. I'm sure some mamas. Farmers market that weekend, and I saw in the video it was like tents just down the center over by the sculpture park for the farmers market. They got all kinds of cool things going to happen there.
You bet. So the Des Moines Downtown Farmers Market is one of the best on so many rankings in the U.S., one of the best farmers markets, and it's one of the largest.
Top
so every
10
Saturday,
in the world? Is it top 10 in
I'm
the
sure.
world?
Let's go universe.
All right. Top 10 in the universe. Yes.
We're going big.
There we go. Go big or go home.
That's right.
But yeah, about 30,000 people come in for that every
Wow.
Saturday morning from May to October. So it's huge. It takes over all of downtown. So it's not your normal farmers market where, you just pick up your lettuce and your tomatoes for the week. I mean, it's legit live music, food vendors. It is like a little fair every Saturday morning. It's really cool.
Right?
Sounds awesome. We're going to have to come in a day early to see all this.
Go to the farmer's market. Also, you have the Governor's Mansion, the West End Architect, largest skating park in the U.S. So if you've got a kiddo that's not shooting, maybe a family member that's so bored, you could possibly take them to the skating park. Also, which I thought was super cool, was the Scenic Railroad in Boone. How far away is Boone?
40 minutes maybe.
All right. If they've got
north of Des
these
Moines.
cool rail cars that fit like 6 people. And I was like, oh.
And we're going to put all this stuff that we're talking about. Don't be frantically writing it down. We're going to put it out there on the podcast description so you have all of the information and links.
And we've already talked about the casino. Yeah, it's got a casino, and lots of things are close to the casino. It's got a racetrack.
So, Katie, is there a casino there? I'm just curious.
Yes, and they've got live horse racing, quarter horse and thoroughbred racing. So, Des Moines kind of unique in the fact that you're talking about kind of that east side of town, where that Bass Pro Casino, there's a high-end outlet mall, and then the middle is downtown and not far from where everyone's going to be shooting. And then in West Des Moines is your a different vibe. It's where your Cheesecake Factories, your Trader Joe's of the world, kind of on that side of town. And again, like Lynette said, one side or the other in less than 20 minutes. So A lot of different things.
You
to do,
know,
for
I
sure.
think the only thing that would make this better is if you guys had a John and Mary Papa John sculpture park.
Oh, that is so cool.
A
Yes.
$40 million one. A $40
Oh,
million
you do? You
one.
guys have that? Oh,
Yeah.
it is.
How do you
This
say
will be
that?
the best JOAD Nationals
I'm
ever.
telling you. And again, I made my daughter go take pictures in front of each sculpture. They're huge.
We are very Instagram worthy town. There's a lot of
Yes.
opportunities. Yeah.
Absolutely. Oh, tell me about the Field of Dreams.
You bet.
That's in
Iowa.
Dyersville. Yep,
Mhm.
that's in Dyersville. So that's a little farther away, but it just depends if you're coming, no matter how you're getting to Des Moines. There's other things to do in Iowa too. So take advantage. But yes, Iowa is home to Field of Dreams. So also a great archery shop in that town called Plum Creek Archery in Dyersville. So
Awesome.
And then
And there's going to be a lot of discounts too, I think. Are they going to be in like the welcome packages?
There are, yeah. So we've worked with a lot of our local vendors, and we've told everyone in Des Moines that USA Archery is coming to town. So everyone's very excited. So as an example, our Science Center in Des Moines, they're giving all the athletes a free ticket. Adventureland is amazing. It is our amusement park and water park. It's huge. But anyway, they're going to be giving some extreme discounts for athletes and their entire family too. So watch for that code. It's going to be great.
and that water park lets you walk in the lazy river. I don't know if you're familiar with lazy river.
Oh,
but you can
yeah.
actually
Oh,
walk
yeah.
River
with your
is
adult
huge.
beverage
With,
in the
Oh,
lazy
with
river.
your
that swim up
So
bar
it's all good.
experience. It's great. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know, something that I loved about the Science Center whenever I was checking it out, you know, a lot of people know that I'm a special education teacher for elementary kids. It has sensory friendly hours. So anyone who might be coming to town and they have kiddos either with autism or sensory issues, that's someplace that they can check out the hours on there, and their kiddos can go and have a place to go to where they're not on sensory overload and out of the heat. Another thing that was super cool is the Blank Park Zoo. My daughter rode on a camel there, and they have this huge tortoise there that we just loved. Something that was really cool was there were chipmunks there. I did not know that there are these little bitty rodent-looking things that ran all over the place that were chipmunks. I was like, what is that? And then people are like bending down and feeding them. I'm like, I'm not feeding the rats.
Little tiny cute rats, right?
They were cute though. It's also the Iowa State Capitol, correct?
Correct. Yeah. And they
Yeah.
get some great tours there too. You bet.
Awesome. Sometimes I didn't get to go to the Greater Des Moines Botanical Center. So another place that, you know, you may want to take little ones and kind of get away from it all. Okay, something I didn't look up. Smash Park.
That's fun.
What is it?
That's out in West Des Moines. Yeah. So it's just kind of an open, they've got pickleball, they've got all sorts of the giant Jenga games, all sorts big games like
Giant
that. for
Jenga
families,
games.
right?
I'm in.
You know, yeah. Just a really cool family environment. Again, great beverages and great food, and it's just a great place to relax under some shade or inside too. It's really neat.
Awesome. All right. So there's shopping as well. Some of the mamas may want to get away from the heat and get away from everything and go shopping. Jordan Creek Mall, outlets of Des Moines. And then Scott and I were looking at Ray Gun. What is that?
Yes, I think on the front of the store it exactly says like the coolest store in the universe or something of that nature. But if you want some cool
Sounds
Des
like
Moines
there's going to have a
trinkets,
cool shirt for me.
there's cool shirts. Yeah, actually, we utilize a lot of their shirts for when we do presentations to entice groups to come here. They have a famous shirt that just says Des Moines, hell yeah. That we've
I
used
think I saw
before
that in
on
the
a group
video.
that, or, you know, it makes sense for. But just really cool, funky stuff there. That's very Des Moines-esque.
Awesome. And of course, you know me, I always want to know about the food. Poor Katie, I've already asked her about tea. So there's lots of great food options. There's Fong's, which is pizza. I would not shut up.
Really?
But it's very.
That's the first restaurant you bring up?
F O N G with an F. It is pizza. Jethro's barbecue. Come on, let's keep going. Zombie Burger. I think I've heard of them. I might have eaten there. I don't know.
I heard there was probably about 10 to 12 restaurants there in Des Moines. That's it, right?
Over 1,000 local
Yeah, we feed the world, but we don't feed ourselves.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
that's
Just
so
10
right,
to
right.
12.
So there is plenty to do, plenty to eat. I'm super excited about all of that. Hopefully, I'll get to go and see some of that. But what else do we need to know going to Des Moines?
You bet. I know Lynette can fill in the blanks here, but I guess just in a nutshell, like check out our website, catchdesmoines.com. That's going to be the easiest way to just get a flavor and, like I said, vibe of who we are, what we have to offer. There's some really awesome videos on there. We have a lot of cool itineraries. We have the best, as in DES, the best list. So if you're looking for the best ice cream shops, the best tenderloins,
Ooh.
which we tend to be known for, best pizza joints, there's some very non-biased opinions on there of some of the best. So check those out for sure. And Lynette, what would you say? What are some of your favorites that we haven't already covered?
Well, I think for me, I think about if it's either hot and you're sick of being in the heat, or if it would happen to rain, there are a ton of other indoor things to do too. There's go-kart racing at pole position. There's spare time that's like a bowling video arcade. Again, a kind of a place where you can just let, I think they have laser tag there too, where you can let the kids go. And there's a hatchet throwing place, the Ironside, that allows all ages. Sometimes there's age restrictions, but they're all ages. There's escape rooms that are all ages. Some are lended towards adults, but some of them are all ages. So just other things to do too. I think the big thing is there are a lot of things to do when you come to Des Moines, and you can have some big breaks, right? And so just take advantage. And then I would also say, again, I think we hit on it. It's a very safe place, very easy accessible place. So just
So you can leave your
don't
wallet
feel
on the dashboard if you'd like.
Yeah.
Keys in the ignition.
Let's be
Right?
smart about what we do.
Yeah, we do. Yeah. But and just to kind of add on to that too, I mean, from my perspective, so my job is to bring in awesome groups like yours to Des Moines, meetings, conventions, sporting events, etc. And you'd mentioned AAU Junior Olympic Games. That's another event that we're hosting this year. It brings in about 40,000 athletes. They're a return customer because they love our city. NCAA basketball first and second rounds. We hosted that again this year. We hear nothing but praises. So we're a city that, people's like, Des Moines, are you in Idaho? Do you grow potatoes? No offense to Idaho whatsoever, but we
grow corn.
we grow corn for the most part, but we, like Lynette had mentioned too, like we are a little big city that's got some really cool things going on, and these giant events that wouldn't normally come to a city our size continue to come back because they have such a good experience, and there's so much to do, and you guys will be able to see that this summer.
Well, I am super excited about
I
this.
am too.
This shoot.
I do want to give a little bit of information for those who are planning to go as far as the tournament itself. It is, like we've been mentioning, Des Moines, Iowa. It is July the 12th through the 16th. It's going to be at James W. County Soccer Park. It'll have huge signs. Registration is open. It's $190 per person, and the deadline to register is June 28th. Late registration is $225. It is utilizing all the new U18, U15,
U21,
those types of, yes. So instead of like we used to be cadet and bowman and things like that, and you will be able to go and register on Sport 80 for USA Archery. And then if you have any kind of questions for us, feel free to send those to us. Give us a shout out, and we will be happy to answer those for you.
How the schedule works is on Wednesday, July 12th, will be your official practice. It'll be between 9 and 12 or 1 and 4. Mm-hmm. And then the kickoff will be that evening, looks like at 6 o'clock.
There is unofficial practice on Tuesday.
Yep.
So if you get there early.
And I don't know if there's a cost to that or not. Last year, I don't believe there was. But just be prepared. If it is, it may be a small cost.
I didn't see an option for it whenever, because, I've already registered, Julia.
I have not.
I did not see a cost
any
for that.
of my children. So you'll have your unofficial practice on day 1, which would be on Wednesday, July 12th. July 13th, If you are recurve bare bow or women or compound and fixed pin men, you will shoot at 8 a.m. There'll be 3 practice ends, and then you will go into shooting. In the afternoon at 1:30 will be the recurve bare bow men and the compound and fixed pin women. The difference with JOAD compared to any other national like USAT or anything like that, you have 2 days of qualifications. So you'll shoot a second day on Friday, which will swap. So if you shot in the morning on Thursday, that means you'll be shooting in the afternoon on Friday. Saturday, you'll go right into, there'll be eliminations. When the last qualifications ends, they'll take all those scores, and on an app called betweenends.com, you'll be able to find where you are going, when you're shooting, who you're shooting against, and what bail. That's where you'll see the information. I don't know if they'll print it off and put it anywhere, but it's easy. Just go to betweenends.com, and you'll be able to find exactly where you're going to be. Speaking of between ends, that's the same for your qualifications. You can just look that up. It'll tell you your time and the bail that you'll be on, so that when you practice on Wednesday, you'll be able to see you'll be able to practice on the bail that you'll be competing on Thursday and Friday.
And for the parents out there, it's pretty much real time, so you can see the scores updating while your archer is out there on the field.
So they'll have the eliminations. Once you're done with eliminations, if you are a top 3, they will want you to head right over to where they'll be giving out the medals, and there'll be a big sign there that has that you'll be able to walk up, and they'll call your names, and you'll be able to take pictures.
I don't know if you mentioned that. To get into elimination rounds, they take the top 64 archers in each category.
I did not mention that, but that's a good point.
Yep. So that's another reason to look at that between ends, because you will see if you were ranked in the top 64 to see if you will be going into eliminations.
Very good point, because if you are not in the top 64, you will not be shooting in the eliminations on Saturday.
But then on Sunday, whenever you're registering, there's a box that you can click for optional team rounds. It was fun, and to me it really is. It's another chance to medal. But really, it's about just having fun and meeting
practice.
New people.
You know, the team rounds are fun. It's a new thing that they have to learn, timing and work with their teammates.
Yeah, that's a little confusing, and my arm got really tired of flipping that yellow card up in the air.
And you have to be prepared. How the team rounds work. There's no guarantee that when you on Saturday night that will be your team, because if you don't have one of your teammates show up, then they'll go ahead and just add somebody to it, or they'll disperse that team and then put them in different areas.
Yep.
If you can stay, it's definitely worth it. The kids had a ton of fun on the team rounds. So
it was more fun than I was anticipating it would be, because I wasn't sure what to. That was my first time to do team events, but it was a lot of fun. The kids had a blast doing it too.
And what was kind of funny is that every time, even if I pulled a yellow card on a kid 10 times, they would be like, "Oh man!" But they knew it. They would get back and they would laugh, and then they'd go back at it again. And so yeah, it is fun.
A lot of fun. Well, thank you guys for joining us on the podcast on the best podcast out there for youth archery.
Awesome.
Thank you for having us.
Yes. Thank you guys for joining us, and we will see you guys at the next target.
And that is it for this episode of Raising an Archer.